so much for being here, and let's all welcome the wonderful Jay Asher.
My book, I feel like it's a very inspiring book. I was very happy to write a very uplifting, inspiring book that I consider full of light. And so my agent sent me, isn't that cool? That's cool, huh? I came up with the idea for What Light before I came up with the idea for 13 Reasons Why. And so it's been about 12 years or so. I'm gonna make it a love story set at this time of year about this girl named Sierra who lives up in Oregon 11 months out of the year, comes down to California, and you know, because she's only there for a few weeks a year, she doesn't want to romantically fall for anybody, but it's a book, so of course she's going to. As opposed to writing a cautionary tale about the dangers of not reaching out to people or not letting people reach out to you, I was going to be able to write an inspiring tale that shows the beauty of reaching out to people and the beauty of letting people be there for you. And the way I did that was the boy named Caleb that Sierra falls for when she's in town is this guy that everybody else in town tells her, if you're gonna fall for somebody in the few weeks that you're here, it shouldn't be that guy because of something in his past. But because she's an outsider, she feels she sees him for who he is now, not who he was. And so that's really what the book was about. And the more I felt that the book was in a way a bookend to 13 Reasons Why, my first book, just the more excited I got. I'm so happy I took as long as I did with that book because it is exactly what I wanted it to be all this time. Other questions? Yeah.
Me? Okay. What's your process to create characters?
I don't have a process to create characters. That's why I have 3 books in 9 years. Like with 13 Reasons Why, when the idea for that book came to me, if you've read the book, the very first thing the main girl on the tapes, she records these tapes and it says, "Hello boys and girls, Hannah Baker here." And that was the first thing that came to me when I came up with the idea for the book. So I automatically had her voice. There was like a little sarcasm to it. And so she felt very real immediately. Sierra's character in What Light came very early. And so I knew, I knew her personality, so I knew the certain tone the book was going to take. And then every character just kind of formed around that tone to fit within the tone I was trying to set.
Do you have any tips for young writers?
The only tip I ever feel comfortable giving other writers, because everybody has their own style, is joining a critique group. Because my writing improved so much once I joined a critique group. But it's important at some point to recognize, are other people getting what you're trying to say? So they're making a 13-part Netflix series on about 13 Reasons Why. They're filming it right now, actually, and it should come out in March. Have an hour for each reason, and you're going to get to know a little bit more of the backstory of the characters that the book just didn't allow for, which is why I think readers of the book will really like the Netflix, because as opposed to taking stuff out, there's going to be stuff added.
Did you have a big part in writing for the Netflix?
I didn't write anything in the Netflix series. I mean, I wrote the book. The head writer was a fan of the book first. And he was in a YA group with his niece, a YA book group with his niece. So he was a huge fan of it. And then when he found out Netflix was turning into a series, he worked really hard. He really wanted to get this job. Same thing with some of the, like one of the producers was a big fan of the book first. They got it. Like they understood it. Honestly, everybody involved, I just completely trusted and still trust.
You're Jay Asher. What do you think about this thing, the pressure that some authors have that they have to publish a book every year?
I mean, if I could do that, I think it'd be cool. You know, I have tons of ideas. I would love to be a faster writer, faster with a certain quality of writing to get those ideas out there. So authors that can do it, great. I do have author friends that do it, and it seems extremely, extremely stressful on them. So it's one of those things. They do have more books come out that they're very proud of, and that's great, but they are also very, very stressed. So it's a balance, I think, with anything in life.
During your presentation, you talked about like that you have more than one agent, that it took you a while to get the 13 Reasons Why published. So what can you say about persevering and just keeping at it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I wish some of my earlier books had been published. That's why I wrote them, because I thought they were good. And if any of them had sold, I would have been extremely happy. But I'm lucky enough that I can look back and say I'm glad through all those years that 13 Reasons Why was my first book. Maybe one day I'll go back and I'm a different writer now, so maybe I can make those original books better, in which case I'm glad they didn't get published then. Then hopefully they can be published when they're better.
this vlog just right now because I'm gonna eat in a Brazilian food truck here in Austin, and it's the only authentic Brazilian food that I have found in Texas. So this is like the best soda. I don't drink soda very often, but this one is worth it. It's really, really good.
Coxinhas lindas.
This is a coxinha. I honestly don't know how to make coxinha, which is kind of ridiculous because I'm Brazilian, but I think most Brazilians just like to eat coxinha and they don't really know how to make it. But it's basically all made of chicken broth and mixed with some stuff to make the dough. And then you have chicken inside, and you have something that's similar to cream cheese, but it's called catupiry. Cheesy-like, but in a creamy way. And this is how it looks inside. As you can see, it's like shredded chicken. And I don't know if you can see the catupiry, but it's kind of over here. And it's awesome.